What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today I've got for you 5 incredible stories from r/TraumatizeThemBack. You're probably wondering, how do I know they're incredible? Well, I'm actually recording this intro after I've read all 5 stories, which, a little behind the scenes, is something that I sometimes do so I can give you an insight into what the stories are going to be before they actually happen in the order of the episode. And I've got to say, these are 5 of the best stories I've read in a very long time on Reddit in one episode. Each one has something different. They're all very well written, very engaging, very original. You're going to love this. So strap in, sit back, relax, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here and you want more stories like this. Let's get into the first of 5. I stalked my stalker and he did not like it. Almost 6 years ago, I made one of my obscure art projects temporarily available online. In it, I'm naked for a few minutes. Those few minutes sparked a wave of obsession from random dudes online that is still going on to this day. Welcome to the internet as a woman. And the video has been shared on many websites, forums, and subreddits without my consent. I've been able to handle most of it and have the video deleted from most of the places it's been posted. But there's this one guy who is really obsessed. Not only does he follow my socials, but he also sent me screenshots of me naked in my DMs with a creepy message, quote, "I have your video and there's nothing you can do about it," with a smirk emoji. He went to great lengths to download the video from the paid DMR protected website that I posted it on, shared it, and bragged about it on sketchy forums. Recently, he also started making various montages with my video. What a creative young man, posting them on random subreddits as well as on his YouTube channel. He even paid an adult content creator to make a custom video in which she reenacts my nude art scene. What the heck? He also makes memes with my face and posts them around. Overall, not only is he creepy, but he's also just really freaking weird. I messaged him warning him I pressed charges against him, which is true, but you know how slow the justice system is. But it didn't stop him, and he went on making and posting weird content with me in it. He obviously thought I'd never find him, which is vastly underestimating me. Turns out, I'm much more of a nerd than he seems to think I am. And I have ADHD, so I really don't mind hyper-focusing on really specific things. In this case, finding him. It also turns out he made quite a few mistakes and is, in fact, much more traceable than he thinks he is. Especially to someone like me who knows how and where to search, and who doesn't mind searching for just as long as I need to. I managed to trace him back to pretty much all the usernames he has online, and finally to his actual name and his face. I now know who he is, which neighborhood he lives in, approximately how old he is, what he looks like, his IP address, what kind of devices he uses, what video games he plays, but also what his fetishes are and what kind of prawn he watches. Spoiler alert, not kink shaming, but weird butt stuff. Turns out this idiot has sent an email to my art business inbox 4 years ago with his full name. I assume he didn't think I'd ever connect the dots. He's a rather young dude with a baby face, probably the least menacing face you've ever seen, so it's really funny to look at this guy wanting to act like an internet thug. Honestly, when I saw what he looked like, my first thought was that he needs some good old spanking from his mum to get him back on track. So, I gave him a taste of his own medicine. I made a funny meme using his face, and I sent it to him. He deleted his account immediately, a 3-year-old Reddit account he used rather regularly. That was yesterday, and I assume he's still busy pooing himself in the fetal position. Needless to say, it was extremely satisfying. This is always the case, isn't it, with stalkers, or at least it's often the case, with stalkers or people online that give you threats. When you actually send them a photo of their face, because all the time, let's be honest, they're behind some sort of online mask and their actual name isn't really out there. But if you were to tell one of these online trolls or a person like this what their name was, where they live, what they look like, they're going to stop immediately. They're going to run away. They're going to cower, because in real life, these people are just complete, word I probably can't say, but like losers, mum's basement sort of people. I actually had it, and I don't think I've told this story before. Early on in my channel, I was sent a photo of my family house, and someone said, "I'm going to come to your house," and like was just threatening me. Now, I did a bit of research back on them. and I found out a little bit of stuff about them, and I told them, and I never received another message again. But it was quite concerning, the fact that they were able to find where I lived and a photo of my family house. I'll be honest, it's not the hardest thing to do in the world, finding out where someone else lives, so I wasn't like completely threatened by it, but it is where my family lived. So I was a bit like, okay, I'm not gonna have that. I'm gonna do something about this myself. But yeah, point still stands. I mean, these people in real life are just complete losers, but I mean, doesn't take away from the fact that this is extremely scary. The break room is not your break room. We have a thief at our office. Mostly it's small things like sodas, snacks, frozen meals, and things most people wouldn't think twice about. A couple of months ago, I noticed my cereal, applesauce, yogurt, and sodas had all disappeared. Because of a previous issue, I always made sure my names were on each item. And because I'm very careful with my money and bring certain things to help me through the day, I immediately brought the issue up with the office manager. Her response was, first, did you put your name on it? Did you actually see anyone take those items? Do you have proof someone in the office took these items? When I wouldn't relent on the issue, she finally told me, the break room is not your break room, it's a shared space. If you're concerned about keeping your food, keep it at your desk from now on. I wanted to call her out on this hypocritical stance because last year, quote, don't keep food at your desk, put it away in the break room was the message, but hey, cool, I got myself a backpack that keeps food chilled and kept stuff at my desk in my drawers. If other people got their stuff stolen, I didn't hear anything about it. Cue yesterday, when we had a small potluck at work. I brought myself a few Dr. Pepper Zeros. It's mostly the only thing I'll drink. And apparently the manager had a few in the fridge as well, except hers were taken. She saw me drinking one and asked, is that my drink? I told her, nope, I brought it from home. She demanded to know, is my name on it? Where did you get it if you didn't get it from the fridge? My response to that was, there's this amazing place called the grocery store that lets you purchase canned sodas. I bought mine there, and I've kept it up front with me this whole time. I even showed her the backpack with my other stuff. She asked if I knew who took her drinks. I asked, did you see anyone take the drinks? Do you have proof anyone took them? She got snarky with me and told me that she shouldn't need proof about someone taking her drink since her name was on it. I told her, well, my name was on my food as well, but it didn't stop someone else taking it. You've got to remember, the break room is not your break room, it's a shared space. Maybe you should keep stuff at your desk from now on. Am I probably written up? Yeah. Do I care? No. This place needs me more than I need it, and I'm already searching for another job. Now, this is the definition of matched energy. When your boss, and it's better when it's your boss, says, well, I understand your issue, but you could do this might be better, just deal with it, and then it happens to them and you can say the exact same things back to them in that same snarky tone. It's just chef's kiss. Ideal. Absolutely love it. Well done, OP. Waitress thought I was transgender, so we flashed them. Bear with me. No, this isn't homophobic on my end. About 12 years ago, it was 2 a.m. and my friend group and I went to Denny's, a trashy restaurant always open until like 3 a.m, blazed out of our minds. In the Midwest, this is what Denny's is for. You get smashed, obliterated, tripping balls, and what do you do because you can't go home? You go to frickin' Denny's and eat trashy eggs and hash browns, pancakes and mozzarella sticks until you sober up. Wow. I am a tall bean. I'm a skinny bean. I'm completely flat-chested. Even when I had my fat phase, I was built like a fridge. During this time though, I was built like a poker table. My hair was short, given I had a mohawk, and we were really, really drunk from a concert we'd been at. 5-finger death punch for you degenerates out there. We sit down. Naturally, because I'm a lady, I was wearing lipstick, eyeliner smudged to heck from sweat, and a fat lip. Lady comes over to take our order. Everyone takes their turns, and I ask for deep fried mushrooms and mozzarella sticks. She eyes me and says, "No problem, sir." I don't correct her because, frankly, I was too smashed to notice. My one friend did though, the lipstick lesbian, and she gave the fry squint and brought it up in a whisper. "The heck is her problem?" she asks, full bombastic side-eye, lip curled back, eyes wide, and with one eyelash falling off at the corner. Can I just say, OP, you have set the scene of this so well. I've got such a nice, amazing image of this in my head. Phenomenal. She works at Denny's, catering to old men and drunk 20-somethings, my homie said, slurring and comically struggling to put the frickin' straw in his mouth so he could drink ice water. I'll never forget how frickin' dumb this dude is, and I love him. We're like, homie, okay, he just thinks he's super clever, when you wonder if his mum smoked cigarettes while pregnant. I'm just lusting after my plates of vegetables cooked in fat and breaded string cheese. Lipstick starts on about how the waitress called me sir. I don't give an F because I already know I'm fairly androgynous, but hot androgynous. Don't be a hater. You know you've looked at someone who looks good, but you can't tell what's in their pants. And if you find out, you wonder how gay or straight you are before proceeding. Anyways, lady comes back, everyone getting their stuff. Mine hasn't come out. I'm so hungry I could cry. I want those greasy little female dogs so bad. I'm stoned and grumpy because I'm stoned and trashed and starving. Everyone eats. Homie and Doc Martin mud laces make yummy humming sounds, and I proceed to stare like an orphan on Thanksgiving. Lady comes back and Lipstick asks about my food. I'm frowning and my puppy dog eyes water because I was timid at that age, and thank God I had Lipstick to run her mouth on my behalf. The lady stares at me. I'll ask about his order. I'm a lady dough. The lady hums. The vibes get weird. Okay, I have a lady voice, okay? Doesn't that typically give people away? Right? Nah, guess not. No food. 20 minutes later, no food. I grab a fist of Mud Lace's fries and shamelessly shove them into my face, ketchup drizzled over them. Off topic, I hate that. Normal people dip their fries. You can't trust people who drizzle ketchup and eat fries with a fork. Insanity. Lady asks if we want our checks. Nah, but I want my food dough, I whimper, very overdramatic. The lady fakes forgetting and walks away. I walk up to the register to ask someone about my food, looking for another waitress. I hear in the back, some skinny dude wants his food. I've got no idea what to do. What is the social decorum for eavesdropping on a homophobic piece of trash? My Asperger butt didn't know. A man comes out and sees me standing there, in lipstick and a leather jacket, skinny jeans and a band t-shirt. I'm not a dude, is the only thing I can say. The dude, manager, employee, I don't know, looks at me and says, I'm so sorry, and walks away. I hear words but don't know what they are. I do hear this lady say, I don't give a trash about some transgender. You take it out to them then. Oh lord, this is so awkward. I just want to eat, dude. I want to eat and walk along the road, throw rocks on the train tracks and stumble home to my dad's house and hope he doesn't give me the lecture about women drinking because culture, even though I'm 22 at the time. There are louder words. There's noise. This lady comes out and I'm afraid of loud noises. She pulls off her name tag and walks around the counter. Maybe she's leaving or walking out. Lipstick comes up. Girl is ready for a shouting match. I have no inner sassy black woman because I'm not a black woman. Not to worry though, Lipstick is black enough for the both of us. Lipstick is a lesbian in a black woman's world. She's also Mexican. She's fully aware she is the angry stereotype, but she doesn't care. She's trashed, she's gay, she spent 3 hours screaming and thrashing. I am more so Lipstick's golden retriever friend. Lipstick starts shouting. I smell food. I just want food. I don't hear anything but the ringing in my ears and wondering how far away McDonald's is from our location. Oh, Walgreens was 24 hours and they had chips. I like chips. And those skinny, long, flaky cookies with chocolate in the middle that rich people eat. I look up and Lipstick says something about how I can't help that the Lord didn't give me a chest, and she turns me around and slaps my butt, telling them no white man has a butt like that. And I'm both confused and silently enjoying having a hot lass slap my butt. This waitress stops her own yelling, likely in shock. I wouldn't eat your softie if it was the only thing on the menu. What the F, Lipstick? Actually, heck yeah, Lipstick. I start giggling and rub my face to make sure both my eyes were open. I lift up my shirt. I have a sports bra. I'm a lady, I say, and I start laughing. Lipstick's been enabled. Lipstick then flashes the waitress and runs out the door. Mudlaces and Homie bolt out the door too. I'm standing there. This lady's mouth is so wide, so full of horror. I'm wondering why her tongue is so big. Oh heck, I'm so done with this place. She obviously wasn't talking to me, but I say, okay, bye, and walk out. I mean, I didn't have a bill to pay, I could just leave. I walk outside. Where the F did everyone go? I turn the corner. There's 4 cars in the parking lot. None are ours. One has a window sticker of a cat. Lipstick found it. Lipstick, mud laces, and homie are peeing on the car. Who are these people and why am I here? The trees become so loud and I can feel the cold ground through my shoes. I shout, Walgreens, and run towards the trees into the direction of the nearby CVS. Time passes, but I came back to earth in the CVS, scared to touch the chip bag. A cashier knows that I'm high, probably, and friends come through the door laughing. Where were you? Mudlaces asks me. Cookies, I reply, hugging a bag of Doritos. I go to the register, life is beautiful, the cops are probably being called, the scanner beeps. Enter your rewards number, the cashier says. I wondered if my hand could phase through the counter if I touch it hard enough. We showed Denny's our boobies, I replied, poking the buttons. So square, so button. The cashier sighs. Friends come up, they have drinks. I leave with no cookies. Thanks for reading. Wow, that was phenomenal. Wow, I was just speechless after reading this. I mean, my question is to you, OP. Were you high when you wrote this? Such a good story. I did have to cut a few bits out of it where OP was just directly talking about taking drugs. If you couldn't tell at the end, they had taken something else after they left the venue and it was sort of hitting them when they got to Walgreens. But nonetheless, phenomenal to read. And yeah, I do genuinely sort of feel a little bit for the lady, the person who worked at Denny's, not because they're clearly transphobic and a horrible person, but I put myself in that position, dealing with people like OP and their group at 2-3 a.m. when they're just completely trashed. That can't be a fun job. However, it doesn't mean that you can just outright ignore your customers. You're paid to be there at that time. You're hopefully on a better wage than you would be during the day. And if you're a filthy transphobe, you're a filthy transphobe. Nothing more I can say about that. Although I wouldn't want to be working that shift, but yeah, amazing read, I've got to say. Wow, what a story. Server thought creme brulee shouldn't be Bernie, so I gave her a menu education. I am a 27-year-old man, and I'm a pastry chef at a high-end restaurant in Portland. I do the dessert menu. Been here 4 years, went to culinary school in Paris, the whole deal. So we hired this server named Ashley maybe 3 months back. She's early 20s, super bubbly with customers, which is great. But she started doing this thing where she'd come back to the kitchen and tell me how customers wanted their desserts modified. First time, she asked if we could do the chocolate tart without the gold leaf because a customer thought it was too fancy. I was like, okay, sure, weird, but whatever, plated it plain. But then it became constant. She'd ask if we could make the creme brulee less burny on top. That's literally the entire point of creme brulee. She wanted me to do our Earl Grey panna cotta without the Earl Grey because someone didn't like tea. Just like make a different dessert at that point. I tried explaining that the menu was designed a certain way. These were my recipes. But she'd do this thing where she'd be like, but the customer really wants it, with this pouty face. And I didn't want to be the difficult chef stereotype, so I'd usually just modify it. It was getting ridiculous though. My sous chef asked why we were basically running a custom dessert operation. I said, I don't know, trying to keep Ashley happy, I guess. Then, last Saturday, we were slammed. Full restaurant, 2-hour wait list. And Ashley comes back during the dinner rush and says, Table 8 wants the deconstructed apple tart, but can we put it back together because they don't understand why it's all spread out like that. It's in the title. I was so done. So I just stopped what I was doing and I was like, Ashley, why did they order the deconstructed apple tart if they wanted a regular apple tart? And she got all defensive, like they didn't know what deconstructed meant. And I just wiped my hands on my apron and I walked out to table 8 myself. My chef de cuisine was like, what are you doing? But I was already going. I got to the table and introduced myself and said I heard there was some confusion about the desserts. They seemed kind of surprised to see me. I explained that deconstructed meant we were serving the components separately so you could experience each element, but if they preferred a traditional preparation, I could absolutely make them our classic tart tartane instead. They were actually really cool about it and said, "Oh, that makes sense. We'll try it as designed." I walked back to the kitchen. Ashley followed me and was like, "You made me look so bad." I said, "No, you were making me remake dishes all night because you weren't explaining the menu properly. That is literally part of your job." She complained to our manager that I went over her head. Manager pulled me aside and I explained the whole 3 months of modifications. The manager was like, "Wait, you've been doing custom orders every night?" When I told him everything, he basically said that Ashley needs to actually read the menu descriptions and understand what she's selling before taking orders. They made her do a full menu tasting the next day. She had to try every dessert and learn what everything was. She's barely talked to me since, except for when absolutely necessary. But I spent years developing these recipes. You can't just crowdsource the menu based on whatever random requests come in. Also, maybe don't tell a pastry chef how to make desserts when you thought creme brulee was supposed to be soft on top. Now, although this revenge is great, and the fact that Ashley had to sit down and do a whole menu tasting is fantastic to re-understand the menu. Although I would say it's quite a good thing that, for her, she gets to just taste the whole menu as part of her job. What I will say is that I don't think you should have let it get to this stage ever, OP. 3 months of going against the menu and making custom desserts every night, that's too much. I get it, maybe a couple of times you change little bits here and there on special occasions for the customer if they ask politely, but when you're actually making a dessert that is the opposite of what it's supposed to be, it's meant to be deconstructed, you're making it constructed, that's just ridiculous. Choose something else at that point. And also, nobody doesn't know what deconstructed means. That's obvious. If you ordered a deconstructed pudding, obviously it would be the ingredients of the pudding not combined but separated, or at least not how you traditionally have them. That's just such an obvious thing. So I don't believe any of this stuff from Ashley or the customer either, to be honest. But yeah, I sort of do blame OP a little bit for giving in to Ashley as much as they did. My mother would shame me having stomach aches until I pooped myself in public. My entire life, my digestive issues were because, quotes, "you just don't drink enough water," or "you're dramatic in acting," when I'd be covered in sweat, guts knotted up, and dizzy from the agony. I was later diagnosed with IBS-M. So as a kid, full of shame, I tried to keep my pain hidden. Messing your pants as a kid was peak humiliation, and in my day we got spankings. We were walking around looking at dishwashers and clothes dryers. The signature warehouse smell made me nauseous. The bubble gut started. I had the tingles and sweats before we even left the house, but was too young to ask to be left home alone. I, even as a kid, gave myself the silent pep talk all people with tummy tantrums do. Not here. Why now? I'm okay. This doesn't hurt. I'm okay. I won't poop myself. Just hold it a few more minutes. I won't poop myself. But we all know that this was all a lie. I was totally going to poop myself if I didn't act fast. But why didn't you ask for the bathroom, OP? Well, because I was a literal child and was tired of being a burden for taking so long to finish a constant non-stop pooping marathon where my butt is an open portal to fiery heck every time we went somewhere. My mother and sister would act so aggressive and aggravated because I would sit in a stall, my insides feeling like they would turn themselves inside out, and I had to listen to put-downs, be humiliated by how it smelled, and just made to feel like I was such a problem because I had a medical condition that my mother never took me to get checked out. Anyway, wow. I mean, that is just really quite sad, isn't it? How bad? I mean, I feel terrible for OP. That is just awful. My sister and I decided to play in some of the dioramas until suddenly it became diarrhea. To hide my bubbly guts of doom, I suggested playing hide and seek with my older sister and ran as far away from everyone as I could. I crawled into a cabinet and promptly took a massive, fiery, liquid trash underneath this sink cabinet. It was so forceful I became increasingly anxious it would pool around me. I used my Tuesday underpants to wipe myself and then ran out, leaving my sin to be discovered by someone else. The smell was wretched, but luckily did not follow me. I made my way through the maze of furniture, a young couple looking at a wooden kitchen set. Images flashed before my eyes of them walking a little further and discovering my poo-poo masterpiece. I suddenly became afraid they'd call the police and arrest me. No, I don't know why I thought that, but my kid brain told me it was certain to happen. People don't poop in public, so that means it has to be illegal. I was about to cry from fear, so I hid behind a long row of clothes dryers, pretending to have been hiding in the same spot the entire time, far away from the trash closet. Soon, my ma came to scold my sister and I for playing in the appliances. When we got home, my mother noticed I wasn't wearing underpants. Again. It was an ongoing battle where my ma just thought I didn't wear them, when in reality I was regularly pooping in places and leaving them there. I did wear them, I whined in between tears. My mother continued on her string of complaining and dismissive words. I had to tell her. I pooped myself at ABC Warehouse, I mumbled. My mother stopped. When? When we were playing hide and seek. My mother's face dropped. You could almost see the dots connecting behind her eyes. My tummy hurts all the time, and you yell at me when I need to go to the bathroom, I blurted out. So I had to poop and left my underpants there. The horror, the disgusted, the unbridled fear in my mother's expression both terrified me and somehow relieved me, as I was being heard, that I had a problem. It took me pooping in a cabinet for it to be taken seriously. Some time later, my mother took me to a pediatrician. I was not, in fact, able to control it. I was given a white pill I had to take once a day, and while it helped, I still struggled with IBS-M as an adult. Luckily, I was never arrested for pooping there. What happened to my poop cabinet remains a mystery. I mean, as I said halfway through that one, it's just incredibly sad that it took something as serious as this and as distressing as this for your mum to actually take your problem seriously. Like, maybe you could argue that, well, you know, a lot of children have sort of these issues and your mum maybe thought it was just a growing up thing. I would disagree with that. I think there are enough signs here, and clearly this has been going on for long enough, or had been going on for long enough in your life, that your mum or somebody definitely should have realised this was not just a toddler or a child problem. This was something a lot more serious that you could not control at all. And it definitely wasn't like your fault. And being shamed for this is just horrific. It's the problem with having an internal issue rather than an external one. Say, for example, your left hand didn't work. Nobody would sort of be like, oh, come on, just control it better. Just, like, you know, get your fingers to work. Whereas if something's internal and your digestive system isn't working properly, people would just say, well, come on, you can do better than that. Whereas in reality, it's sort of the same thing. I mean, a little bit of a weird analogy there from me. I don't know too many people whose left hands don't work, but I think the point still stands. Anyway, glad that you got it fixed, or that your mum finally decided to take it seriously, but I'm very sad that it took this much, well, effort and this event for her to start taking it seriously. I mean, my family has a lot of, you know, digestive issues. I mean, my system's not the best, to be fair. I know my sister struggles a lot. My dad has had a cancer to do with his bowel. So, you know, it's one of those things that means a lot to me when I read a story like this and I understand it. It's very sad to see, but again, maybe reading a story like this, me reading a story like this will make people more aware that this sort of stuff does happen and it's as serious, maybe even more serious at times than any external injury or disease. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this one. Really hope you enjoyed these 5 Traumatize Them Back stories. Let me know in the comments down below, which of the 5 was your favorite? For me, I think in terms of the actual revenge, I will go for, I think, number 1. Stalking a stalker back and causing them to stop is elite, but the style of number 3, just phenomenal. I mean, so well written. And as I said during that, I just had, from the first couple of paragraphs, a clear image in my mind of this group of just battered 20-year-olds who'd been to a concert, who were pretty high, in a Denny's with just a worker who just didn't want to be there and was a horrible person. I mean, that image was just so clear to me. So yeah, number 3, probably the most enjoyable. Number 1, Stalking a Stalker, the best revenge. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I will catch you on the next one.